What's good, y'all? It's been a minute since one of these motherfuckers. But, yeah, I'm just over here, watching a video on Bradley Martyn and fucking Andrew Tate going down in some weights, you feel me? They're going down in some weights, zoo culture, Bradley Martyn's gym, right? They're talking about all kinds of shit. And it's crazy because I've never really watched Bradley Martyn's. I've never really been into the whole, I was more into the raw, not raw, but like, I hated that LA gym culture, that young LA and fucking, like, I don't know. It just seemed fake as fuck at the time. And I was never into all that fakeness in the fitness culture on YouTube. That's why I gravitated more towards Elliot Host and Elliot Host, Twin Muscle Workout, Beast Mode Jones, Chris Jones, Louis Marco. Who else? I think I said Elliot Host right. I said because Elliot Host just had such a profound impact on my late teenage years. So I've never really watched Bradley Martyn stuff. Not that he was fake either, because I think he seems like a pretty genuine person. Kind of like stuck out from the crowd of the whole lame, fake ass gym culture on YouTube sometimes, and fitness culture. But that being said, yeah, I'm watching this video where Bradley Martyn in his gym with Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate's kind of hit or miss, you know. I did like a lot of his content that he used to put out, but I mean, I don't about all of the allegations, you know. I really don't know. I can't say. There's only, I mean, from what it seems like, there's only proof in Romania and evidence in Romania, and I can't speak on their legal system. And it might be a biased view because I've only heard of the integrity of their legal system through Andrew Tate. So he might be full of shit too. I don't know. But he's, you know, according to him, their legal system is a piece of shit. And you can make anything fraudulent as far as claims and evidence and shit. But, yeah, I mean, he came over here to America, right? And he, I guess he stopped in Florida. And he got stopped in Florida first, and he got stopped there for almost arrested or some shit. I don't know. Then he came to, fucking bitch. Then he came to, motherfucking, he went to LA. I don't know how that happened. It's such an odd, random collaboration. It, like, I was just going through my YouTube feed and Bradley Martyn and Andrew Tate popped up. I was like, what the fuck? I would have never expected that shit. But anyways, they're talking, right, about some fucking, and this, I guess you could say this is kind of like a little fucking story time type shit, because they mentioned some things. And it just, a core memory was unlocked that I just totally forgot about. Because Bradley Martyn was bench pressing, and he said he had a fucked up hand because he had a broken hand. The guy's like, you sure you can bench press? And he's like, yeah. And Andrew Tate's like, what happened to your hand? And Brad's like, oh, I broke it trying to separate my two dogs from fighting each other. I think he said there were two pits, I don't know. And Andrew Tate was like, you know, nobody talks about how fucking hard it is to separate two dogs fighting, especially bigger dogs. And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I fucking struggled. And Andrew Tate started talking about the two dogs he had. I think he was about to go into a story about how he had to do that one time. But immediately that fucking unlocked the fucking core memory of my fucking brain. My memory banks. Well, there was once a time when I was in the Navy it was like the last 6 to 7, 8 months that I was in the Navy. I was on bed rest because I was actually, I just had to report to base like once a month. But I was pretty much living in an apartment, and then I moved out that apartment and then moved into I roommated with somebody that had a house in California where I was stationed, close to the base that I was stationed at, who was also in the Navy. And I roommated with him until I was medically retired. And dude, I was like, it's so true. He unlocked a core memory where I had to do that. I had to separate two big ass fucking dogs because they were fighting. And a little bit of a context, whatever, or backstory somewhat to me at that time period is I was sick. The whole reason I was on bed rest was because I had ulcerative colitis. If you don't know what that is, it's ulcers in your large intestine. It's a fucking horrible disease, dude. And I used to have that. I had that shit for 2 years pretty much. At the time that I was living at that guy's house in Visalia, that's the city I was living in California. Him and his wife, and I believe his son, that's who I roommated with, they went on a trip, I think, down to LA because Visalia is like, I think 3 or 4 hours north of LA. It's like in the middle of California. And they were like, hey man, like, we know you're sick and all, because I was like skin and bones, dude. I was literally like 112 pounds at the time when I was in the Navy. I developed ulcerative colitis in the Navy. And at the time, I was on bed rest and I was rooming with him until I got out. I was 112 pounds. I'm like 5'9" right now. Or up to right now. Always been, right? But adult life at least. And he's like, he had 3 dogs, I think. And he was like, there used to be a system to how he would fucking let his dogs out. He would. There was 2 that he could not let out at the same time because they would, I guess, end up squabbling or whatever. And me, dude, I was so sick, so fucking tired all the time because I was also anemic from the loss of blood. Because I was pretty much shitting blood almost like damn near 24/7. I wasn't holding any nutrients in. I wasn't holding no weight. And I was losing blood. I was anemic. So I was like jaundiced a lot. And I was fucked up, dude. But, you know, my mentality's always been like, I can do anything, regardless of whatever physical circumstance I'm in. And I was like, yeah, go ahead, man. I can take care of your dogs. Because I had done it before, I think, was watch his dogs, like, while him and his wife would go on date nights and shit. Or whatever. And I would help with the dogs sometimes, I think. I don't remember. But one day, that day that I was supposed to watch them, like the day they left, I think it happened. These fucking dogs, dude, I let one out, right? To go take a shit or whatever. And he was like, yes, and, you know, I was supposed to let 2, I think he had 3, there was 2 that I wasn't supposed to let out together. And my dumb ass was like, I was sick, dude. I was like, fucking, not that it's an excuse, but man, my mentality was like, I'm sick. Like, I let them out, and I had to rush to. That was another thing too. I had incontinence. Like, I had to urgently shit, dude. If I didn't make it, I would have shat myself. But, so I think I let one out, and the other one that's not supposed to be out with that one at the same time eased their way out too. And then I closed the door, and I was like, fuck, they're both out there. But they're chill. It's only after so long that then they can't come back in. That's another thing too. I was on bed rest, so I would watch him sometimes while he was actually, him and his wife went to work because I think they were both in the Navy too. But I was on bed rest and I stayed home. So I would watch them, and I had that system going, but I think that time I let them out, and I was like, fuck, they'll be all right for a little bit, you know? They'll both take a shit. They only start fighting with each other if it's just too long out there. And the heat, it's fucking hot as fucking the Central California. It's like a dry heat, dude. It's horrible. I fucking hated it. But I guess I ended up on the toilet, and sometimes I'd be on the toilet so much that I would fall asleep on the toilet. And I fell asleep, and I woke up to like barking and shit. Motherfucker. And I was like, what the fuck? And I ran outside, and I just see like dust, because it was Central California. It's not the greatest for grass and shit. They had like a sand, dirt backyard. And there was just dust flying everywhere. It just looked like a fucking tornado or some shit. And I look, and it's just both of them just fighting, dude. So I ran out, and I grabbed one of them. I tried grabbing one, and with the dog still in my fucking arms, dude, the other one was attacking me and the dog. Because one of them was, I don't know if it was a pit bull, but it was something close to it. Might have been a fucking pit bull. But it was a fucking muscular dog. I'm only 112, and I have this other big ass dog. They're both grown adult dogs. The one that I had in my arms was their oldest one, I think. And man, I had to I ran into the house with the dog in my hands, and I had to, separating them was fucking hard as fuck itself. And when I finally got a hold of the one that was being attacked, and I was holding her, I think it was a girl, in my arms, the other dog was still attacking me and the fucking dog. And so I ran inside, and as I'm trying to get inside, and I'm trying to squeeze in the door, not letting the other one in that's doing the attacking with the dog in my hand. And as I'm trying to close the door, it's still barking and scratching at us and trying to bite us and shit. And I slammed the door shut, and I left that one out there, and I brought the other one in, right? And fucking, it was whimpering. It was sad, dude. This dog had a broken arm and shit. The guy that I was living with, they turned around. They didn't even go on their little trip or whatever. They turned around. I had to call them immediately, because I was sick. I would have I could have taken them to the hospital, the vet or something like that. But I was sick. I was so bad that I could probably shit myself on a 5-minute drive somewhere. That's why I had to stay close to a fucking restroom. I could shit myself on the drive, and then immediately right after, I feel like I have to go again. That's ulcerative colitis, dude. That shit is not a fun disease to have. None of them are, right? But it's a horrible one to have. But yep, so they turned back around, took the dog to the vet, and I'll just never forget that, dude. That was a fucking intense ass experience I had, man. And when they said how hard it is to separate two grown ass dogs at that, man. And I'm 112, dude. Bradley Martyn's 260, and he fucking broke his hand separating his two dogs. That shit is it's hard as fuck, man. But yeah, that's just my little story on that, you know. I had separating those two dogs was pretty scary at the time, not gonna lie. That's all they see is red, dude. Especially that fucking pit or whatever it was. But yep, that's it for that. Yep, be careful you trying to separate a motherfucking dog fight, grown ass adult dog fight. Hard as fuck. That's it for that story. Just had to get this video down real quick, because that memory hit my motherfucking brain like a goddamn truck, like a freight train. I don't want to forget it. So there's a little top story time type shit with this goddamn video. That's it. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I might make this a little rock fucking Meta has just said battery 15%. But yeah, I might make this a ride with me episode 2. Fuck it. And yeah, that'd be it. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe on this motherfucker, and I'll catch you goddamn motherfuckers on the next one, boy.